Today we're going to be talking about habits that I started this year that I want to continue and how I can improve them and that I think would help you, and then habits that I really would love to start in the new year. Not anything crazy, just realistic, simple goals that I would love to do. You may have halted at this point because all these other things are like practical or, like cute little Christian goals, and now you may be like, oh God, I wasn't ready for that. What is she talking about? My name is Gabrielle if you are new here, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so happy that you are all here. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for the support that you've given me this year on my channel. I knew that God was calling me to do something different this year, to make a change in the content that I was putting out. And I'm so thankful that I chose to listen to him, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, is listening to what God is telling you to do. And I feel like I've seen such huge blessings from that. My channel has grown more with me barely posting than it ever did when I was posting a lot of videos, thrifting, organization, whatever. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, and I probably still will continue to do those things. It's important to talk about Christian topics and things that we are all struggling with, especially in the environment that we are living in right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the habits that I started this year that I will be carrying into the new year. And I will also be sharing if there's ways that I would like to tweak these, or things that that I think I could improve upon. So the first one is charging my phone in the bathroom every night instead of sleeping with my phone. This was literally the first year that I've ever done that since I got a phone when I was 17. I always slept with my phone because when I was younger and I wasn't allowed to have a phone, it was exciting, and I was like, ooh, I can have it at night or whatever, listen to music, watch videos, whatever, scroll on Instagram. But as I got older, I realized that this was not only horrible for my brain, but it was impacting my sleep cycle. Honestly, I didn't think I would make it more than a week of doing this, because I was so reliant on my phone, checking my text messages in the middle of the night, checking, setting my alarm. This is so silly, but instead of having an alarm, I would set a timer so that I knew how much sleep I was getting at night. Well, you can't see it, but I will link it below. I bought an alarm clock I didn't buy it. Someone bought me an alarm clock for Christmas last year. And it's very cute and functional, but I cover up the light at night because it does bother me. But I set my alarm on that instead, and it literally has helped me so much. The one area that I would love to improve upon this on is in the morning, first thing, I do get up and walk into the bathroom and get my phone, and that has become, at first it wasn't too bad and I would just set it down, but now it has become really bad. So something that I would like to change is not even checking my phone for the first hour that I am awake in the new year. Okay, my alarm goes off, I get up, I go in the bathroom, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, I brush my hair, put on a new outfit, I go and make my breakfast, and then I can sit down and journal or read my Bible or whatever, and not even check my phone. Okay, number 2 is having screen time limits. This is something that I started doing about 1.5 years ago. I was a lot more strict with myself at the beginning of the year, only doing 30 minutes for Instagram and TikTok, but I realized that I actually needed a lot more time, especially now that I work from home and my job requires me to be on Instagram a lot more. And also, I would love to post on Instagram and TikTok more, but it can be really toxic, and I need to be more strict about the time limits because my life would significantly improve if I was. Okay, number 3 for the habits that I started this year that I'm gonna carry into the new year are skincare. Before the last 12 months, I honestly, the only skincare I did was washing my face at night and sometimes in the morning. Now I've tried to wash my face in the night and in the morning. I have serums, oils, I have moisturizer, I have SPF, but the only thing is I'm not consistent with it. I was for several months, but then I just got busy, we were traveling, and I just kind of fell off my schedule. So I would love to do it consistently. If there's one night a week, obviously, where something comes up, I can't do it, whatever, that's okay. But I know how good it makes me feel, just more confident as a person, and it's so good for my skin, and I can tell the difference in my skin when I'm not doing it. Let's just say that. I'm starting to look a little crusty, okay? Number 4 is cycle syncing with my meals. There is an app that I have been using that I love. I love this app. This is not sponsored, but if they would like to work with me, that would be amazing. The name of this app is 28, obviously, because like usually there's 28 days in a cycle. Okay, Gabrielle, so original. But you can't really see it because of the glare on my window. Oh, so irritating. But basically it shows me like I'm in my awaken phase, and it shows you the 4 phases of your cycle. And then you can go here and click on workouts. So they have like different workouts that are recommended for like the times in your cycle. I haven't worked out in like a month, but I need to start back. But the main thing that I really like is they have insights. So they show you like how you're feeling, how you will feel in like social situations, how you'll feel towards your partner, how you feel towards your goals, like what's the best time of month to work on those goals. Nutrition, it shows you like the best proteins and lean foods and things like that, fresh produce to eat according to your cycle. And I've only been doing this for the last couple of months, and I can tell such a difference in my skin and in my outlook, and most of my periods have been better. This last one was ratchet, but the other ones I could really tell, like my whole life I've always had a lot of symptoms and a lot of pain in the week leading up to my period, but by doing that I really have not experienced as much pain as I used to, and I'm like so thankful for that. Number 5, reading my Bible every day. Now I feel like every year has been like a new faith goal for me. So like 2 years ago it was like, okay, actually read my Bible. So the first thing I did to help myself with that is I started picking plans on the Bible app that would read themselves to me while I was on my drive to work. That was amazing, life-changing, helped me so much to get back into reading the Bible. And then this year I started reading the 1-year Bible, and it's helped me so much. It's not a full 1-year Bible, it's just a New Testament with a proverb every day, but it is so good, so rich, and it's really helped me. Now something I want to do this year is, and I've started doing this a little bit, but I want to actually like read my real Bible, not the 1-year, and start going through that consistently and just really like spending time in it. Like it doesn't have to be this hour-long thing, but at least like 15 minutes, you know, just like sitting down and meditating on something and asking God to reveal something to me through that. Number 6. Something that has really helped me this year is ordering my groceries. Let me tell you what, it's life-changing, because like I've said in other videos, I have not been diagnosed, but I probably should go to a psychiatrist. But I think I might have ADHD, and it's really hard for me to focus in grocery stores. I either grab nothing and nothing goes together, or I grab everything in sight and I overspend, you know, whereas I would spend usually $70 to $90, I would probably spend $150 in the store because I'm like, ooh, that looks good, that looks cute, ooh, I want to try this like new thing, whereas I'm not actually shopping for the meals that I want to make. And Aldi has order pickup, so you can just order on their website and pick it up for free. Like no subscription service, no nothing. It's amazing. Number 7 that has changed my life is getting a car wash every week, or at least tidying my car. When I was growing up, I kept my car so dirty. I did not clean it, but maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I don't know, I think it's a reflection of our mental health. And so there are certain places like Autobell or like other local places probably close to you that have a subscription service where they will clean the outside and the inside of your car for you. Literally just like go through the car wash, sit down, and they will vacuum it and wipe it out for you. It's not like a total deep clean, but it is really nice just to feel like fresh for the week and not have your car smelling stale. So that's something that has really helped me that I will be bringing into the new year. Number 8 is not watching movies and TV shows that don't honor God. And you may have halted at this point because all these other things are like practical or, you know, like cute little Christian goals. And now you may be like, oh God, I wasn't ready for that. What is she talking about? Well, I'm gonna explain it to you. Growing up, my mom would always say like, oh, we shouldn't watch this, or, you know, we should fast forward this scene or whatever because of X, Y, or Z reason. And I would mock her. I'd be like, that's so dumb. Like, we're missing the movie, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you don't even want to watch the movie, then let's just like turn it off, etc. as I got into college, I stopped caring about like what I was really watching and what I was letting into my mind. And I can tell a difference that it affects me. It affects my relationship with God. It affects my relationship with my husband. It just affects my outlook on life. In Philippians 4 verse 8, it says to meditate on whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, whatever is excellent, and if anything is worthy of praise, to think about those things. I'm sorry, but I think it's really hard to watch a movie or watch a TV show, and even if you don't think it has a negative impact on you, there is some small twinge of impact, because you're making the decision to allow that into your mind. And I've just decided I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to allow those things in my mind. I want to allow things that are uplifting. I want to allow things that are making me a better wife and friend and employer and daughter and all of that, and a better follower of Christ. At the end of the day, that's all I care about. You know, watching other people have sex on the screen is not something that is edifying to me. Watching very, very gory scenes and just like human bodies being defiled in a violent way, I don't want to see that. Watching someone curse time after time after time after time, I don't want that in my brain, you know. And there's a plethora of other things, right? There's not just those three things, okay? Like drugs, alcohol, whatever. Like, I don't want to see that. I do like look up movies before I go and watch them with like the Christian parental guide, just to see like, okay, is this something I'm comfortable with? Is the cursing kept to a, you know, minimum where they say like crap or whatever? You know, if there's kissing, that's okay. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't see that. I don't know. I've never seen kissing before. Oh, you know, and I don't want to see other people's naked bodies. So that's not something that I'm interested in. I only want to see mine and my husband's, and I don't want cursing in my mind or his mind. I don't want violence. I don't want drugs, I don't want alcohol, I don't want anything, because you are opening yourself up to that stuff. Number 9, I want to continue playing the piano 2 to 3 times a week. Before this year, I had not played piano in almost 2 years, and I'm so glad I started back. I haven't been consistent over the last few weeks just because we've been traveling, but it really is something that God gave me as an outlet to express myself, and I believe that we're supposed to honor God with our gifts, and I want to do a better job of that this year. And so that's just like a part of that for me. Okay, number 10, fully believing God is a God of his word and he will provide. Now, this is like a whole can of worms that I could unpack in a different video. But the ways that God has provided for us this year and the year before specifically have just been, it's not to say it hasn't been hard, because it has, but it's been mind-boggling just to see like how God cares about the little things, whether that's financially or like with friendships or where we're living, or I don't know, just like whatever it is with our cars, you know, just the provision that God has granted to us. I'm just so thankful, and I'm like, oh my gosh, every time I doubt God, I'm like, I'm so sorry, because you knew what you were doing in that situation. I know that my husband will attest to this too. Number 11, moving my body, walking, stretching, whatever. I'm not that gym girly. I'm not gonna be deadlifting. I'm not gonna be running a marathon. That's just not me. That's not what my body was created to do. I get shin splints, okay? But something I've tried to be a lot more intentional about this year is at least going on a walk. Now, it's been cold. It's December, okay? But this has helped me so much, helped my mental health, helped me feel more physically fit and not out of breath. I don't know, I would just encourage you to at least like try to get out of the house, go on a little short walk, and every day just make it like a little tiny bit longer, and you'll be so surprised at the way your body builds up stamina. And, you know, just like put on a podcast, put on some music, call a friend or a family member, and it will go by really fast, I promise. And number 12, something that I'm carrying into the new year that was a huge goal of mine this year, and I feel like I've been tested on multiple levels for this, my whole life really, but especially this year, is not living for the approval of man. There are multiple scriptures on it. For me personally, I am an Enneagram 6. Now, I know that the Enneagram is controversial in the Christian community, I don't really look at it as much as I used to, but I think it's a cute way to understand people better. And so I'm a 6, I'm a loyalist, and I kind of have always gravitated towards wanting people's opinion or approval about like literally everything I do, whether it's like my outfit or where I live or what picture I'm gonna post on Instagram. And I remember like I used to like edit all my photos for Instagram, then send it to all 5 of my friends and ask them which picture they like the best and which one I should post. And no, I have stopped doing that this year. I have intentionally, it's actually been very hard for me. I've intentionally, like I think I've only done it like once or twice, but I've intentionally tried to stop because it's just like a small part of me that is seeking someone's approval, and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that in how I live my life, how I dress, whatever, because at the end of the day, or like the things that I say, because at the end of the day, you know, I want to show love towards everyone, but I am not seeking a stamp of approval from a human. I'm seeking a stamp of approval from God and from his standard, which is the Bible. And so that's something that I didn't really grasp or comprehend or really care about a year ago, but it's something that God's definitely been helping me with. It's really, really hard to like stand firm in your identity in him and not crave those opinions. I'm right there with you if you're the same way as me, but it's worth it. I don't know, there's just like so much freedom in it just to like let it go, just to let it roll off your shoulders. All right, here are some new habits that I would like to start in the new year that maybe I have started a little bit, but I haven't fully immersed myself in, or I just think that they sound like a good idea and I want to try them. Okay, so number 1 is taking chances while still maintaining my boundaries. Now, you may be like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, that's impossible. But I'm here to tell you that it's actually not. When I say boundaries, I don't mean like, oh, this hard and fast rule that I'm like throwing in someone's face. No, it's just like something that I've decided that will be beneficial for my life that I can share with people, and they can either choose to listen or not. And just some ways that I'm gonna show up for myself. So this means with my relationship with Austin, that means with friendships, that means with commitments, and that means with like family members and going out of town, and even like taking chances too. Like I want to go on trips, but I don't, you know, want that to come at the expense of having a ton of credit card debt. You know, I want to have fun and be open to last minute plans, but not at the cost of my mental health. And I want to be ready for new opportunities, but again, I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my marriage. And those are like the 2 non-negotiables for me. And so if anything is like interfering with that or causing that to suffer, it's gotta go. Okay, number 2 is memorizing 2 Bible verses per month. And you know, I just made this like a really small attainable goal for me because this is not something that I've incorporated really probably since like 4 years ago. When I was at Liberty, I used to write like little abbreviations on my hands to memorize stuff. So I want to read a passage to you from Joshua 1:9. Okay, Joshua, it's not 1:9. It's Joshua 1:7 through 8. Above all, be strong and very courageous to observe carefully the whole instruction my servant Moses commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or the left, so that you will have success wherever you go. The book of instruction must not depart from your mouth. You are to meditate on it day and night, so that you may carefully observe everything written in it, for then you will prosper and succeed in whatever you do. And that was very dramatic. I love how this phrases it. It must not depart from your mouth. You are to meditate on it day and night, so that carefully observe everything written in it. And I love this because I feel like sometimes I am kind of like flippant about stuff and a little bit careless, and I want to carefully observe everything that God is telling me. I want his word to be on my mind, not like what some random girl said on TikTok or some random celebrity gossip. Like I want God's word to be on my mind day and night, because that's what we're commanded to do. Okay, number 3 is journaling 2 to 3 times per week. I have not been good about this. I think I've journaled maybe 10 times this year, but I really, really, really want to be more consistent about that this year. I want to have memories that I can look back on and be like, okay, God answered my prayer there. Okay, I remember that really fun thing that I did. and I don't feel like I have that. I'm good at taking like photos and remembering stuff, but I'm not good about like writing stuff down, and I want to be like a lot more intentional about that. You know, I want to journal. Okay, everyone says that, but I'm like so serious. Number 4, new habits I want to work on. Posting at least 1 video per week on TikTok. Now, last year, I think I said I wanted to do 2 to 3. That's just not feasible for me in this season of life right now. Maybe it will be if Austin magically triples his salary, but I want to be consistent in that manner because I feel like God has given me this platform for a reason, and I feel like he's blessed me, and I want to honor him with that, and I want to post videos that are helpful for you guys and that encourage you, uplift you, help you be a better person, a better Christian, a better wife, whatever. Number 5, new habit I want to work on. Reining in my temper / having a short fuse / controlling my tongue. I felt like I was getting better about this the last few years, and I definitely have, like since I was a kid, God has helped me a lot, but I have felt myself, especially over the last 6 months, having a much shorter fuse for things, especially towards Austin, which I know is not biblical. To me in my life, always when that happens, it indicates that something is wrong. It indicates that I have not read my Bible in a while, that I'm not really relying on Jesus, and that I'm not like centered spiritually. I'm just gonna read you some verses on like why this even matters, because you might be like, well, whatever, Gabrielle, that's just like a part of you. That's how you are. And for a long time, I've kind of like, I guess like in the back of my mind, said that to myself, like, well, you just have a temper, or, well, you know, you just curse every once in a while, like, it's okay, like, that's just how you are, you know, like, you just have a short fuse. But we all have sin nature, and God wants to refine us and sanctify us. So here's some verses. Proverbs 14 verse 17. A quick-tempered man acts foolishly, and one who schemes is hated. Verse 29 of the same chapter is, a patient person shows great understanding, but a quick-tempered one promotes foolishness. A tranquil heart is life to the body, but jealousy is rottenness to the bones. I could just like read this whole book, honestly. I want to have a tranquil life, and I don't want to be full of rage, and I don't want to make rash decisions, and I want to be filled with the peace that only comes from Jesus in regards to everyone around me, because it will have an impact, and I have not been the best about that. Okay, a couple more verses. James 1:19 through 20. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this: everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, for human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. I have to remind myself of this like every time I get mad at someone, or I'm like, oh, how could they do that to me or whatever. Yes, I have a right to be upset, and I have a right to be angry, but the way that I act upon that is the difference. And it literally says, human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. I could just stop the video. That's so rich. Okay, the last thing I want to read is James 3:4 through 14. Now, buckle up, because it's a mouthful, okay? And consider ships, though very large and driven by fierce winds, they are guided by a very small rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs. So too, though the tongue is a small part of the body, it boasts great things. Consider how a small fire sets ablaze a large forest, and the tongue is a fire. The tongue, a world of unrighteousness, is placed among our members. It stains the whole body, sets the course of life on fire, and it is itself set on fire by hell. Every kind of animal, bird, reptile, and fish is tamed and has been tamed by humankind. But no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With the tongue we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in God's likeness. Blessing and cursing come out of the same mouth. My brothers and sisters, these things should not be this way. Does a spring pour out sweet and bitter water from the same opening? Can a fig tree produce olives, my brothers and sisters, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a saltwater spring yield fresh water. I'm sorry, what? My mom had me memorize that when I think I was like in elementary school, and I thought it was so dumb. I did not understand what it meant, But now I do, because it's true. The tongue is a deadly poison. I can literally feel its effects on me. Like, Austin and I got into a fight last night, and I don't feel good. Like, I said things I regret. I was very mean, just because, like, simple thing of like having a quick temper, and I don't want to be that way. It affects so many aspects of our lives. It affects our mental health. It affects our friendships, family, etc. So it basically says no one can control the tongue. The only person that can control our tongue is God, okay? With us being reliant on him and his Holy Spirit. Okay, number 6 is actually having a morning routine. I'm not good about this. I tried to be and I was not. So this is not to say like, oh, I have to get up at 4 and read my Bible and I have to blah, 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 blah. That's not me. But I at least want to get up, like I said, and like not check my phone. I want to do my skincare, brush my teeth, make some breakfast, get dressed, like, and I want to do that all before 8 a.m. And to be honest, I haven't been the best about that at all. There's like no structure to it, and I really, really want to start that this year. Number 7 is I want to find a mentor. I had one in high school, and I kind of had one in college. I feel like that's just needed, like, for my season of life. Now, that is totally different than a counselor, but a mentor is just someone who can pour into you spiritually. So I'm gonna read to you why that's biblical and why that's needed. Okay, Titus 2 verse 3 through 5. Now, sticky situation. This is a sticky territory, so we can talk about this in a different video, but I'm literally just talking about mentors right now. In the same way, older women are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers, not slaves to excessive drinking. They are to teach what is good so that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands and to love their children, to be self-controlled, pure, workers at home, kind, and in submission to their husbands so that God's word will not be slandered. We'll unpack that in a different video. But the main thing is, someone's older, they have wisdom, they can pour into you, they can give you spiritual advice, they can give you life advice, and I think that's so practical, and I don't have that, and I am seeking that out. Number 8 is finding girls that I can mentor. Same thing, like, I'm older than like girls in high school or college, and so I would love to find at least like 1 or 2 girls that I can mentor, because I did this throughout high school and even like a few years ago, and I don't know, it just brings me so much life. It gives you perspective, and God literally tells us to do it. Okay, number 9 is to be more intentional about my speech with Austin, date nights, and active listening. Something I have noticed over the last, 6 months is Austin will be telling me something, whether it's the most mundane story or something that is very exciting. And I try my best to like actively listen to what he's saying and respond, but sometimes I'm just like so addicted to my phone, I pull it out, or I'm like, yeah, and I'm not like fully engaged. And it would hurt my feelings so bad if he were like that, so I don't want to be like that. And the date nights, we don't have to like go out, but we can at least like do something here. Just something intentional where like we are spending that time together, talking, catching up, whatever. And number 10 is having life-giving friendships. I feel like this just really sums up the whole theme of my life, but I've always had issues with friendships, whether it was a toxic friend or there was a fight or like a life trauma that someone was trying to work through or something. And obviously we all have hard things we go through, so you really can't help that. But something I've noticed in my life is I always gravitate towards the fun friend. This isn't the case like across the board, but it's something that my mom pointed out to me several years ago. That like I have a lot in common with, that I can go shopping with, that I can do fun stuff with. But I have never gravitated towards like those deeper friendships, and the ones that I do have really like taken time and work and like been cultivated, and I'm really thankful for them. But I would like to find at least like 1 or 2 more friends that I can have that with, that just like fills up my cup and gives me life, and that I can talk about biblical things with, and also go thrifting. There's nothing wrong with that, and like organize with or whatever. But life-giving friendship is so crucial to just having a fruitful life, and I want more of that. So I feel like I'm not the only one in that boat. I feel like I see videos about that all the time on TikTok. So anyways, I have been talking for way too long, but I love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you learn something from it, and maybe you implement 1 or 2 of these habits in the new year. Comment below if you have a habit that you started in the last year and didn't finish that you want to start again, or maybe habits that just were terrible and didn't work, or something new that you want to try. I would love to know what it is so that maybe I can do it too. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a blessed New Year's. Be safe. And I will see you in 2024, which is so wild, but I can't wait to see how God blesses us and shows up and is with us through the hard stuff too. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. What up, girl?